Hi, this is the ViewMaster Stereo-Matic 500 stereo projector. So we're going to take a look at it and see if we can get it to work and see if we can see some projected images in 3D. So this is the case that comes in, so let me open it up. Okay, so here we go. So this is the ViewMaster Stereo-Matic 500 projector. As you can see, it has got two lenses on the front. So when it projects on the screen and you wear your 3D glasses, we should see 3D images. This was released in the 1950s, so it's pretty vintage. But this is when 3D movies were a big deal in the 50s, and this was like the home movie equivalent of that, released by the ViewMaster Sawyer Corporation. So let's take a closer look. Here on the front, we've got the left and right lenses. There's a dial on the top here. This is for so it's sort of like focus. This is just adjusting the two images so that they line up together and you get a good three-dimensional image. There's a dial here at the bottom. This raises and lowers the projector on its stand. It's fastened to the stand permanently, so you can raise and lower the image on your screen. Round back, we have the power input. This is just two-prong. This is set for US power. Two big switches here. The first one turns on the internal fan. The light bulb inside is really hot, so this fan helps keep it cool. You can't turn the lamp on, which is the second switch, unless the fan is already running. So the first switch on the left has to be on first. That turns the fan on. The switch on the right, that turns the lamp on. On the right side, we've got the slide control lever. This just lets you advance the slides. So this is going to use ViewMaster reels, which are circular. You load them in there, and then that's how you would switch to the next slide. And over on the other side, on this side, this is an alignment lever. It lets you adjust the two images that we're going to see if they don't initially start lined up correctly. So if the 3D doesn't look very good to you, you can use this lever to adjust that. As you can see on the top, this is the loading slot where your slides would go in. This little red light here, this is supposed to tell you when it's time to change reels. So it should light up red when the reel reaches the end. There's only 7 images on a reel, so it doesn't take very long. What I'm going to do is look from the back. We're going to open it up and see what's inside. So this is the inside. Here you see this large light bulb. I think it's a 500-watt light bulb. So it's really bright, very hot. Here on the left and the right of the light bulb are 2 mirrors. So the light comes out of the light bulb, reflects off these 2 mirrors, and goes through these 2 apertures, which is where the ViewMaster reel is loaded. So that light goes through and out the lenses to the front onto the projector. So let's take a closer look at this mechanism. There's 2 screws that you can remove. If they're tight, you would use a coin. So we'll take one out here and the other out here. This gives you access to the loading mechanism. So this plate comes out. Kind of move it over the bulb there. So this is the ViewMaster mechanism here. You can see the reel would load in from the top. You'd see 2 images on the left and the right here. This here is the advance arm. So this moves to the next slide. And this is your alignment arm here. So on the front here, you can see these are the 2 polarizing lenses. So the light will go through the left and the right lens, become polarized. And then when you wear your 3D glasses, you see only one or the other of these images, left or right eye. And that's what gives the 3D effect. You can undo this screw here to remove this plate and change these lenses if you need to. I did notice that the loading arm, when it's in the up position, the slide reel goes in this slot here. But it's only possible to do that when you lower the arm down, and that raises this gap, this plate here, and then you can insert your slide. So you can't actually load it if this arm is up. And I also noticed that when this arm goes down, a black plate covers the apertures, blocking the light, so you can change your reels and not blind yourself with white light. And then inside you can see there's a transformer for the power, the two lenses here with the connection to this dial so that they can be focused, a little mirror that goes to this red light is right here, and there's a lever on the mechanism here which is supposed to block or not block that light to illuminate the red light. So we'll see how well that really works. Okay, so we're going to put it back together and see if we can get it to work. Okay, we've got it put back together again. We're going to turn it on and see what it does. The first thing I need to do is align the images with the wheel. So I'm going to turn the fan on, which gets kind of loud, and then the light on, and then raise the shutter up so that we can see. And now you can see two images on the screen. We're just going to adjust this until they're on top of each other. I've got a personal ViewMaster reel of a wedding from the 50s that I'm going to load. I did notice on these reels there's marks. Here's this up for V and up for P mark. The P means projector and the V means viewer. Because the projector is going to flip the images upside down as they go to the screen, you actually need to load the reel upside down. So you load with the P pointing up, which is upside down. So slide this down to go into load mode, put the reel in, and then slide this up. So there's a really neat image of a wedding. Put on the 3D glasses and it should be 3D. So it's not coming out in 3D. No, the glasses don't do anything. It's just you don't see a 3D image. With the glasses on, one lens should see one image and the other lens should only see the other image. So let's see what happens. Here are the glasses. So I think you can see through the right lens, you still see two images. And through the left lens, same thing. So you're seeing the same two images with both lenses. And if this were going to work in 3D, each lens would only see one image. So it's not working. And I think we're going to need to figure out why. Light acts as an electromagnetic wave, going up and down along the line it travels. There's all kinds of waves coming out of the bulb, oscillating in every direction and every frequency. The light reflects off this mirror, goes through the ViewMaster image, then through this polarizing filter. The polarizing filter blocks all the light except for the light that oscillates in one specific direction. The other filter does the same, but blocks the light that's 90 degrees off from this one. Then the light reflects off the screen and comes back to your eyes. The glasses are also polarized in the same way. Only the light that went through the matching filter will go through a lens of the glasses. So the filter on this side can only be seen through this side of the glasses. See how the right-hand filter matches the left-hand side of the glasses? That's because the screen acts as a mirror, so the left and right will be flipped. Because one of your eyes sees only the right image and the other eye sees only the left image, you should get the ViewMaster 3D effect. So why doesn't it work on this movie screen? The light that leaves the projector and hits the screen, it isn't the same light that goes from the screen to your eyes. The light that hits the screen causes the electrons in the molecules that make up the screen material to get excited. These excited electrons emit new light. That's the light you actually see. The light the electrons emit is different from the light the projector originally sent. For example, if the atoms in the screen absorb some frequencies of light, then the emitted light would be a different color. Or maybe the emitted light would have a lower amplitude and look darker. Or it might no longer be polarized. What I think is happening with this plastic screen material is that the emitted light is being scattered. The molecules in the plastic screen material are long and randomly oriented, so when the polarized light hits those molecules, the excited electrons emit light that's polarized in all kinds of different directions at once. That means the reflected light isn't polarized anymore, and each of your eyes can now see both images at the same time, so you don't get the 3D effect. So how is this projector supposed to work then? Well, it turns out there are materials that can reflect polarized light and keep it polarized. One of those is glass. The molecules of glass are smaller and arranged in an orderly pattern without the internal subdivisions that cause light to scatter. This allows the light emitted by the excited electrons in glass molecules to remain polarized. Let's try it out, see if that works. Our first experiment is going to be with glass. So we've got a picture frame that's glass, and it's framed a large sheet of felt, which is dark. That is a glass picture frame with felt behind it. So let's turn this projector back on and see what we see. I'm going to close the curtains though. So there's the image. Let me put my 3D glasses on, see what we get. Oh yeah, now that totally works in 3D now. So the glass has kept the polarization intact, and I can see a 3D image sort of floating in space. Let's see what the camera sees through each lens. So if you look at that blue hat, you only see one now. And with the other lens, you definitely see the other. There's another material we can look at, and that's metal. Metal conducts electricity because it has lots of free electrons. These free electrons can be easily excited by light of all frequencies and cause a very strong reflective light. Also, a pure metal is a crystalline solid, which means its molecules are structured in an orderly fashion, so the light should remain polarized. Silver would be a good conductive metal to use as a screen, since it should keep the polarization intact. In fact, when this projector was made, silver screens were the most common kind of screen you might find at home or in the movies. These screens were actually coated with silver. That made them very reflective, and the silver meant that the polarized 3D images would work. But I don't have a screen like that. But I do have an old mirror. A mirror is glass coated on the back with silver, so it should reflect the light and keep it polarized. Let's give that a try. I've taken a mirror and I've sprayed it as evenly as I can with hairspray. That creates kind of a frosted effect on the surface, which I think will let the image appear. Let's see how well that works. So there's the image. Yeah, a lot brighter than the last one. Put the 3D glasses on. Oh yeah, that's an excellent 3D effect. That really looks great. If you look at the bride there, there's definitely only one image through that polarized lens. And another image with that one. See how it shifts? So silver, definitely a very good reflective material that keeps the polarization intact. So I think I'm on the lookout for a proper silver screen now.